This is Unit 5, Lesson 8, Exponential Situations as Functions. We are going to go ahead and do 8.3, and it is 3 questions with 3 parts each. So in each part, we're going to write a sentence of blank is a function of blank. We are also going to pick out the independent and dependent variables and write an equation representing the situation. So it will be, part A will be blank is a function of blank. We'll list the independent and dependent variables and an equation with function notation. And a little sidebar for those who may not know, this is a symbol for with, the W with a slash. Also in my last video, I used a B/C for because. So that's just a little shorthand terminology. Okay, so number 1. In a biology lab, a population of 50 bacteria produced by splitting every hour on the hour. Each bacterium splits into 2 bacteria. So if we look at part A, blank is a function of blank. So this one would be the number of bacteria, for bacterium, I guess is the plural. I don't know if bacteria or bacterium is the plural. The number of bacterium is a function of time passed in hours. So again, if we were to make a table, if I said how much bacteria was at hour 1, there would only be 1 output. B, the independent variable is time. The dependent variable is the number of bacteria. So, and this is because if the bacteria are following their rules or whatever, following the function, they're not going to suddenly quadruple. If I say 2 hours, then they will have, they will have split every hour. So they would have doubled every hour. Okay, so C, we're writing our formula in function notation with the form A times B to the X. Our Y, our function notation will be f of t, t for time, is 50 because that's our starting value, times 2 because if each bacterium is splitting into 2 every hour, it is doubling. And then our power is t, or for each hour is time. number 2. Okay. Every year after a new car is purchased, it loses 1/3 of its value. Let's say that the new car costs $18,000. Part A of number 2. Let me move this up. Part A, number 2. So the value of the car is a function of the number of years past. Again, this is because the value of the car is dependent on the number of years past. So that is going to also answer part of B. I spelled independent wrong up there. Independent value is number of years dependent variable value of the car. So we're seeing a trend here. The dependent variable is a function of the independent variable. Here we've got dependent, number of bacteria, time, and time. Now here we've got independent variable is a function of the dependent variable. So we got value of the car is a function of the number of years. Okay, C, y equals a times b to the x. A is our starting value, which was $18,000. So if we're losing 1/3 every year, that means that each new value is 2/3 of the year before. So we lost 1/3, retain 2/3. So our growth factor, since year 1 is going to be 2/3 of the starting year, and year 2 is going to be 2/3 of year 1, B is our growth factor. So our equation is going to be f of t, again t for time, equals 1800. Actually, this was 18,000, not 1800. I'm missing a 0. 18,000 times 2/3 to the t. Okay. Number 3. In order to control an algae bloom in a lake, scientists introduced some treatment products. The day they begin treatment, the area covered by algae is 240 square yards. Each day since the treatment began, 1/3 of the previous day's area in square yards remains covered by the algae. Time is measured in days. So A, the area is covered by algae is a function of days past. since treatment. Okay, so B, based off of that, the algae is dependent on the treatment. The days since treatment's passed, we know that are dependent. Is the area covered by algae and are independent. Is the days since treatment. Okay, so part C, again we're going to use our y equals a times b to the x. So A is going to be our starting value of 240 square yards, and B, it says that 1/3 remains. So we lost 2/3, retain 1/3. So our growth factor is going to be 1/3. So f of t equals 240 1/3 to the t. Okay, we will do a quick knowledge check, the next time we have class after watching these videos. And the plan is to work on practice problems that day, depending on how well these videos worked. So I will see you next class period.